Okay, so you kind of already answered my question a little bit, but my question was, when you become president again, what would the first thing you'll do to fix our current school system and even our current military that's only focusing on teaching woke gender ideology over learning the basics of life and history and protecting us?
So a good question. Some of it partially answered, but not all. With the military, we're ending woke immediately. You know, I ended woke, totally. And then
Cuando dice desperté, es woke, o sea, woke como pensamiento progre. Entonces cambien esa palabra ahí de lo que dice ahí abajo. Dice que acabó con el tema woke y que,
with the military, we're ending woke immediately. You know, I ended
y que cuando llegue al poder va a acabar con los progres inmediatamente en el ejército.
woke, totally. And then in their first week, they reestablished it. It's crazy. They pay instructors hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It literally, they want our military to be woke. And it's just not going to happen. You read in Hawaii where they had the horrible fire where they have people going there. And before they bring them on board, they have to study woke for a week. Can you believe this? In other words, everyone's wanting to get back to their home, finding the bodies. It was such a tragedy. You don't read about it too much anymore, but hell is going on over there. And they want to give them classes in essentially wokeness. Can you believe? So, you know, you've seen it. Well, we'll end that very quickly. We will, with the school, I think the schools are very important. We're going to bring our education department back. Now, if you look at our education, we pay more per pupil than any country in the world by 3 times. And yet we're at the bottom of the list. We have a bad, very bad. If a place like Iowa, as an example, if you could run your own and we give you just a percentage of the money, because you wouldn't need nearly the money that they waste in Washington. Number one, you love your students, you want your students, you know your students. The parents will be involved. That's the other thing. We're going to let the parents, because some of these school boards have become tyrannical. They've been horrible. But we're going to bring that back, and that's going to answer your question, because I think that we can have one of the best school systems in the world. Right now we have one of the worst. They basically rate 40 countries, and we're always at close to the bottom of the list, sometimes the bottom of the list, and spending more money than anybody else. So we're going to take care of all of your needs very quickly, and I think it's going to happen very quickly. And one of the things we're doing, closing the border day one and starting drilling for oil. Okay? We're going to drill, baby, drill. Right? Okay, do you have one over here?
Este es un tema importante, importantísimo, el tema de educación. Pasa en Estados Unidos, pasa alrededor del mundo, pasa en Colombia. Cómo intentan envenenar a la juventud de estos pensamientos. Una juventud que no tiene claridad respecto al mundo, respecto a ciertos conceptos. He tenido también compañeros que se han dado cuenta de eso después de salir de la universidad, que me dicen en la universidad estaban muy cegados por estos pensamientos izquierdistas de los profesores que los imponían. La academia no puede tener la libertad que está teniendo ahorita para destruir la identidad de las naciones, para inculcar los pensamientos de izquierda, porque en un 99% es lo que hacen, meter estos pensamientos a la fuerza, ridiculizar o intentar destruir al que no piensa igual, y eso en algún punto es lo que termina destruyendo las naciones, porque comienzan con los jóvenes y les meten este pensamiento y lo van construyendo, y la juventud se crea una identidad a partir de ese pensamiento y se vuelven radicales defensores de estas ideas progresistas. Hoy la universidad ya no es un lugar para educarse, sino un lugar para ser adoctrinado. Y pasa igualmente con el ejército. Uno lo ve en Estados Unidos y seguramente mientras ellos pierden tiempo con las estupideces de los 80.000 géneros, sus enemigos se están preparando día y noche. Cuando llegue el momento, probablemente Estados Unidos no estará preparada para afrontar esa situación, porque están más preocupados por estupideces que realmente por la seguridad de su nación.
I want to thank you, President, for all that you've done. And a question I want to ask you is, I'm telling you, no man can endure what you have endured. Do you realize that God is behind you and strengthening you? Do you realize that?
Well, I appreciate what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, too. It's been a terrible thing in so many ways. The only thing, the great gratitude I get, I'm looking at polls now where we're 50 points, 60 points up, you know, among all these people. And we're beating Biden in all these polls, and we're beating everybody. And we have had to endure. We endured a fake Russia thing for years. We endured all of this stuff, all fake. And think of how bad these people were. A guy like Adam Shifty Shifter, he's a real bad guy. I call him pencil neck. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. He's not going to be playing for your local teams, Iowa State. They're not going to be recruiting him to play football. But Adam Schiff, he makes up with Hillary and with the Democrats. They make up the Russia scam. He knows it's a scam. Think about how bad. I have sons and daughters. You know, we love our sons and daughters, right? And I watch him on television one day. So he knows it's a hoax. Russia. Turned out to be a total hoax. No collusion. There was no anything. So he knows it's a hoax right in the middle. And he goes out to the microphones after leaving the meeting, which is supposed to be very, quiet. Nobody's supposed to know what goes on in there. He goes out to the microphone. He goes, the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., will go to prison for what he's done. Now, he knows it's a hoax. Think of it. It's not like I'm reading and seeing, and I watch this guy telling I'm watching him saying that my son is going to prison. My son is going to prison. And I know that he had nothing to do. There was nothing. The whole thing was made up. It was a made up story. You know why it was made up? It was an excuse why Hillary lost. They said, let's blame Russia. And it was supposed to be a one-day deal, but the fake news wouldn't let it be one day. And the fake news carried it and on and on and on. And we have the same thing right now. It's going on still. Do you know that if I got indicted, but because the people know me so well, they know it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They know that. And think of it. They say he questioned the election. Well, everybody in this room questioned the election. The Democrats questioned 2016. They were all standing up. They were forming cards. They were forming all sorts of things. And those are the same guys that say it's so corrupt. Washington's a corrupt place. But think of it. You're watching some guy on television, a high-ranking congressman, say that your son is going to prison, and he knows that it was a hoax. I mean, how bad do you have to be to do that? And then it gets, no collusion after 2.5 years. And then 2 weeks go by, and I had a little piece. I focused on China and other things. It's almost the easy subject, right? I focused on the easy things like China, Russia. And then they start with Ukraine. He made a phone call to Ukraine. It was a perfect phone call. That phone call turned out to be absolutely, nobody's ever seen anything. Everything I said was right. About please study if there's any corruption, please report it to the Attorney General of the United States, etc. It turned out to be exactly right. A lot of people are saying right now they've got to undo even the theory of those indictments because those indictments were fake, just like everything else. So we have to get back to making our country great again. But you're right. Many people ask me that question. They say, how do you do it? And I do it because I feel real love and I feel real appreciation. And I do it because it's more important than anything else I could do. I could be living a very nice life in the most beautiful places all over the world. And here I am with you in Iowa, and I'd rather be here. So thank you very much. Very nice. Appreciate it.
Si hay una verdad irrefutable es que Donald Trump a nivel personal y económico ha perdido mucho más de lo que ha ganado desde que se lanzó a la candidatura de presidencia en el 2016. A diferencia de muchos de los otros tantos políticos que llegan a la presidencia o a posiciones de importancia en los gobiernos y lo único que hacen es enriquecerse. ¿A qué voy con esto? Un líder que tiene más que perder de lo que pueda ganar a nivel personal por defender y liderar los intereses de su país significa que realmente ama a su pueblo. Y para mí Donald Trump es un claro ejemplo de eso. Porque desde el momento en que se lanzó para la presidencia de Estados Unidos en el 2016, incluso hasta ahora, lo único que ha recibido son ataques, falsas acusaciones y perdido mucho dinero. Sin embargo, pasa algo con él que lo diferencia de la gran mayoría de políticos. Y es que a él realmente la gente lo ama. Y muy seguramente eso se evidencie en las próximas elecciones presidenciales.
Hi, President Trump.
Hi.
First of all, I just want to say that I love and respect you so much, and I want to thank you for being America's biggest fighter. So there's that. But I also, let's have a policy-related question. I just want to know if you have any words of advice or encouragement for a lot of us young conservatives who are afraid to speak out, as you may know. I definitely know from being a student at Iowa, Hawkeye State, by the way.
You're good.
And I just want to know, you know, especially with the caucus coming up, we need to get a lot more young people out there. So I'd just like to know if you have any thoughts on how we could be better patriots to get you.
So I'll
back
tell
in
you,
there.
it's so great that you asked that, and with such enthusiasm and everything. It's so great. So remember this. There are far more of you than you think. You don't see them. You don't see them. I know people in Beverly Hills. I see them on television. We will stop Trump, but they go in and vote for me, you know? It's true. It's like you think it's woke. It's not. You look at the percentage of votes and everything else, if you can count on it, which you basically can't. But look, you just keep your thoughts and because you happen to be doing the right thing. There are many, many more of you than you understand. There are many more of you than there are of them, and a lot of them are you, because it's common sense. You know, they say, are you a conservative? Are you? Whether you're conservative, yeah, I'm conservative, but I'm really a person of common sense. We need a wall. We want low taxes. We want good education. We want to be able to build and buy houses. You know, nobody can buy houses anymore because the interest rates are so high. Remember when they were high? I was jawboning that guy. Get him down. You better get him down. They said you can't fire the head of the Federal Reserve, but he thought he was going to be fired. And, you know, you take a look at interest rates, what's happening right now. You just stay just the way you are. You shouldn't change at all, and just go out there. And people respect you, and they respect you more than you would ever think. And there's so many of you, okay? And you're going to a great school. Thank you all very much.
Respecto a lo último, es verdad, en general somos más. A veces creemos que no es así, porque ellos generalmente, los progres y la izquierda, son más ruidosos, gritan más. Tienen detrás el poder de la academia, tienen detrás el poder de los medios de comunicación y tienen gran parte de la influencia política de nuestros territorios. Por eso a veces pareciera que son más, pero esa no es la realidad. Nuestro discurso es mucho más fuerte, es mucho más potente y tiene mucho más interés en el pueblo y en el bienestar de nuestros territorios. Por eso es importante alzar la voz e intentar organizarnos, porque no es solamente que seamos más, tenemos que hacerles saber que somos más, y tenemos que hacerles saber que esa búsqueda que tienen por destruir nuestra sociedad no va a llegar a ningún lado.